If you're searching for credit counseling pros and cons in 2025, there's a good chance that debt has been keeping you up at night. You're lying there staring at the ceiling, wondering how you're ever going to get ahead when the bills just won't stop. But you know what? You're not the only one. Millions of Americans are carrying that same weight, and the shame, the stress, and the constant second guessing. I know it's overwhelming. Hi, I'm Rob, a financial coach for more than 20 years. I get how confusing debt can feel, especially with so many sketchy ads out there. So I'm here to break down what's real, what's not, and how you can finally start taking control of your debt with confidence and clarity. Today, we're diving deep into credit counseling, one of the most misunderstood debt relief options out there. Is it really the lifeline that it claims to be, or just another dead end? We'll discuss what it is, what it can do for you, and where it could fall short. By the end, you'll know if credit counseling could give you the financial breathing room you've been looking for. Here's what we'll cover: what credit counseling actually looks like in real life, the honest pros and cons of credit counseling, the benefits that can make a real impact, the limitations nobody talks about, and how credit counseling compares to other debt relief options. So grab a coffee, take a breath, and let's figure out if credit counseling could be your path to financial freedom. When people ask, what is credit counseling? I like to paint this picture. Imagine you're juggling 5 different credit card payments, different due dates, interest rates, minimums. Just keeping track of it all feels like a full-time job. Credit counseling steps in like a guide when you're lost. These are usually nonprofit agencies that sit down with you, go over your situation, and help you come up with a real plan, not a quick fix. Imagine Maria, for example. She's 52, a teacher, and after helping her parents with medical bills, she ended up with about $28,000 spread across 4 cards. She was constantly paying the bills, but it felt like she was running in circles. A counselor helped her zoom out, see the big picture, and strategize a way through it. Here's what credit counseling actually does: creates a realistic budget that actually works, reviews your credit reports to flag any issues, builds a debt management plan or DMP, teaches you money management skills that last, and sets realistic financial goals. The key difference: unlike those debt relief companies that promise to eliminate your debt for pennies on the dollar, credit counseling agencies help you pay off your full debt, but often with lower interest rates and fees. But now it's your turn. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by trying to manage multiple debt payments? Drop a comment below and let me know what your biggest challenge has been. When you search credit counseling pros and cons, you'll probably get 100 different answers. But here's the scoop: credit counseling isn't a magic wand, but it's not a waste of time either. So let's break down the real pros and cons of credit counseling, starting with the good stuff. You have one simple payment. Instead of juggling multiple payments, you make one monthly payment to the counseling agency and they pay the creditors for you. Lower interest rates. They often negotiate rates down for you, ranging anywhere from 24% to as low as 6 to 8%. Professional guidance. You get expert advice tailored to your specific situation. And relief from collection calls. Once creditors agree to your plan, all of those stressful calls typically end. Let's imagine Tom and Sarah, a couple in their late 40s with $35,000 in credit card debt. Their counselor negotiated their average interest rate from 22% all the way down to 9%, saving them over $400 a month in interest alone. Now for the cons. First of all, there's no debt reduction. You still owe every penny. Credit counseling does not forgive debt. Credit card closures. You'll have to shut down your accounts, and yes, that can ding your score in the short term. High monthly payments. Many people drop out because they just can't afford the required payment. And limited use. It usually only works for unsecured debts like credit cards, not for mortgages or car loans. What's been your biggest roadblock when it comes to paying down debt? Please feel free to share it below. Your story can help someone else feel less alone. What if I told you that credit counseling could potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your debt? While it's not perfect, credit counseling can make a life-changing difference for the right person. Here's why. It's financial education that sticks. Unlike quick fixes, credit counseling teaches you sustainable habits. You'll learn to create budgets that actually work, understand your credit reports, and develop strategies to avoid future debt traps. Interest rate negotiations. Now this is where the magic happens. Imagine Jennifer, a 45-year-old single mom with $22,000 in credit card debt at 21% interest. Making just the minimums, she'd be stuck paying that back over 30 years, paying about $65,000 total. With counseling, her rate dropped to 8% and she was debt-free in about 5 years, paying back about $32,000, saving her over $33,000 in the process. Structured accountability. The biggest benefit might just be the structure itself. When you're overwhelmed, having someone else manage the logistics while you focus on changing your spending habits can be transformative. Credit score recovery. While your score might dip initially from closing accounts, completing a debt management plan typically leads to significant credit improvement because you're demonstrating consistent payment history, the most important factor in your credit score. No more dodging phone calls, no more waking up in the middle of the night in a panic, just a little more breathing room and a lot less shame. Now, if you could eliminate the stress and shame around your debt, how would that change your daily life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Now that we've covered all the benefits, let's talk about the downsides. Credit counseling isn't designed for everyone, and it might not be right for your situation. Here's what to know. Credit counseling works best for people who can afford substantial monthly payments. If you're barely scraping by on minimum payments now, a debt management plan might require payments that are just as high or higher. Let's look at David's situation. He has $40,000 in credit card debt with minimum payments of $1,200 monthly. His debt management plan payment, $1,100 monthly. While he saves $100 a month, he still has to maintain this payment for 5 years straight. If he misses payments, creditors can pull out of the agreement and he's back to square one. No access to credit. Here's what they don't emphasize up front. You'll lose access to credit entirely during your plan. Need a car repair, emergency medical bill? You'll need cash or a personal loan at potentially higher interest rates. For most people, this feels like financial handcuffs. Credit counseling only addresses unsecured debt. If you're struggling with mortgage payments, car loans, or student debt, you'll still need separate solutions for those. And it's not great for severe debt. If you're already months behind payments and facing lawsuits, credit counseling might be too little, too late. At this point, you might need more aggressive debt relief options. So quick check-in here. Have you ever started a financial plan with the best intentions and then life got in the way? What threw you off? I bet you're wondering what your options are if credit counseling doesn't fit your situation. Well, don't worry, there are other paths forward. Credit counseling versus debt settlement. Credit counseling pays your full debt with potentially lower interest. Debt settlement negotiates to pay less than you owe. Settlement hits your credit harder, but could get rid of debt faster than minimum payments if you qualify. Credit counseling versus debt consolidation. Credit counseling combines your debts into one new loan, ideally at a lower interest rate. Unlike credit counseling, you keep your credit cards open, though using them defeats the purpose, and you need good credit to qualify for the best rate. Credit counseling versus bankruptcy. Bankruptcy can eliminate most of your debt, but has serious long-term credit consequences. It's typically a last resort when other options aren't available. So which one is right for you? Well, choose credit counseling if you have a steady income, can afford substantial monthly payments, want to pay your debt in full, and need structure and education. Consider debt settlement if you're behind on monthly payments, facing financial hardship, and owe more than you can reasonably pay back. Look into consolidation if you have good credit and can qualify for a lower rate loan. And consider bankruptcy if your debt exceeds your annual income and other options aren't realistic. What matters most to you? Paying your debt in full, getting debt-free fastest, or minimizing credit impact? Let me know in the comments what factors are most important in your decision. So here's the bottom line. Credit counseling can be a great tool for the right person in the right situation. It gives you structure, education, and a chance to save thousands of dollars in interest, but it's not magic. You have to remember, credit counseling works best if you have steady income and can commit to 3 to 5 years of disciplined payments. You'll pay your debt in full, but potentially save thousands in interest. You'll lose access to credit during the program, and it's just one option among several debt relief strategies. And most importantly, don't let shame or fear keep you stuck. Whether it's counseling, settlement, consolidation, or something else, taking action is always better than doing nothing. If this video gives you some clarity, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see new videos every week to help you get unstuck from debt and start moving forward. Want to explore your specific debt relief options? Head over to freedomdebtrelief.com for a free consultation and personalized recommendations based on your unique situation. Remember, you're not defined by your debt. You're more than a number on a statement, and financial freedom is possible. I'll see you in the next video.